Welcome to Conversations with Lord Nelson. This is a very historic day and a very historic time for all of us. We are in the month celebrating his 90th birthday. I want to say good evening to all and welcome to this beautiful, beautiful show as we celebrate Lord Nelson. With me today, Brother B, Deryk Braithwaite, television broadcaster, and also a cultural enthusiast on the island of Tobago. Brother, we want to welcome you. And then, of course, Gil Figaro from the Sunshine Awards. He's actually the founder and what's the other word we use, Gil?
The chairman.
The chairman, that's right. I didn't want to say a word that was outside of that. He's the founder chairman of the Sunshine Awards, and even Brother Lord Papa Nelson, he has received the Sunshine Awards in the past. These are the members, some of the members of Tobago Friends of Lord Nelson, a non-profit organization right here in Trinidad and Tobago that's geared to preserve the legacy, the works, the music, and times of Lord Nelson. And that spans from education, it spans from music, it spans to development and sustainability of calypso, soca music, and the music of this prolific composer. So I want to turn over to Brother B, who will start the questions today. Let's go, Brother B.
All right, and of course, Lord Nelson, Robert Lord Nelson. And of course, we are indeed grateful to have this opportunity to explore the work, the time of this living legend. Nello, let's go to your days in Plymouth as a boy in Plymouth. And of course, from going to school, stomping your toe, as you would say in Plymouth, just take us through those days and then eventually move into United States. Yeah? All right, let's go, Nello.
Well. Welcome, my friends. Welcome, Trinidad and Tobago, my country so far. And you want to know from whence I came?
Yes.
Well, boy, from boy days to these days, it's a long story, but let me tell you, I was born in Plymouth, Tobago. Went to school in Bethesda Moravian School. That's right off the hillside in Plymouth. And I did everything possible to make sure that I did everything that I could be proud of, even from the boy days. Like I always say, pitch marble, fly kite, bounce me toe. All that came from my boy days in Trinidad, Tobago. And when I left school, which means you had to go to school up to 7th standard, I was pretty good. I would say bright. I only went from first stage to standard 1. From there, I get to be like a too bright. By the time I get to be about 14 years old, I was already out of school because the lessons I was trying to learn or they're teaching me, I know them, that greatest teacher. One of the greatest teachers in the world named Teacher Percy. He used to give me the chalk and put me on the blackboard to do sums and, you know, those pound shillings and pence thing and all that contrary English business. And I used to find the answers in a different form. See something wrong with this boy. He doesn't know what's really wrong with me. I find a way to do many things. Just like now I'm doing things differently. So I'm going back to school days. I left there from school days as not a monitor, as teacher Percy wanted me to go to school, to be a monitor, come out like a teacher. Or in them days, it had Rupert Dalrymple, Little Stewart, they call him Bomber now. He gone, he passed away, blessed soul.
Boma.
All of us were supposed to go to school and come out like teachers. But there was so much of the black thing going on there. Papa, when teacher Percy went to Mac, my mother and asked him, say, well, I want Robert to be a monitor. Max said, not this boy here. It had too much obia going on there. I'm talking about real thing, you know. Man does go to school and go to take exam and I can't even see the lines, the book or nothing. So I get away from that.
Right.
And from that now you don't run around in school or out of school and not doing anything. You got to have a trade. That's when I went to trade. You didn't have mechanic and all, you have tailor, carpenter, shoemaker. Well, I picked shoemaker.
Right.
My sister and I even sent me to be a shoemaker. I could really make shoes. I tell all that already.
Yeah.
I could make shoes from scratch to write up. I mean, I know how I was pretty good on that. So what happened? I'm a shoemaker. But in those days, you could make shoes to people. Nowadays, you just go in a store and buy shoes. So you see again, couldn't make it there. I have a trade. So I left Tobago in a different form. Went to Trinidad with some cousins, and then next thing you know, I wind up me. I started to get me a job in the Red House. I walking in the Red House. Remember, you had to papers, and I started up. I started as a messenger. I wind up in a desk there in the Red House. I mean, I'm talking from messenger to a big boy in the Red House, working in the Red House. You had to have class, but you had to have brain. I have brain, but I didn't know how much brain I have. And I started from there. Now you got to listen to me. If I have to go through this by the time I'm done, we have too much time. So let me tell you how you feel about Brother B.S., you're just listening. I could go through so much. Look, I start and I still didn't stop yet. So I will give you a chance to talk and ask you something else.
No,
Okay.
I have a question. Can you make a shoe for a man just by seeing the corner where the man lives?
When I could make shoes for him, I could really make shoes, but it wasn't me. I was the fellow who was in the business watching the content.
Yeah. He using liar to lie, the song liar to bring in
I'm
the
teasing
but
him with
anyway,
your song liar.
Yeah.
I'm teasing him about the song liar.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right.
Boy, I have stories to tell. Many. Talk to me.
Yeah, Gil.
Hello. Listen, that's a real inspiring story you give there, huh? From your childhood in Tobago and moving to Trinidad and working as a messenger and so on. That is admirable. Now, the first time I saw you, Nello, was in the late 60s. My uncle took me to Naparima Bowl to see the tent perform, and that's where I saw you perform Stella. And then there was a skit while you were singing, and I believe it was Bill Trutman who was with the bride, Sparrow, and I'm really jogging my memory here. Sparrow was the groom. While you performed, broke down the place that night. And then the next thing I know, you departed for the United States. Tell us about that. What inspired you to migrate to the United States?
Listen, everybody, at least I was one of the first person that left Plymouth, or maybe around me, to say they go into the United States of America. That wasn't even possible to even think about. I remember when you lay down in my house, in our house, when you get the magazine and thing, and they used to take that and paste magazine leaves around the room and thing. Your house look good thing. I used to lay down on the back and I watch watching them pictures, the Globetrotters, people in Harlem, but I knew, I said, what? I wasn't even thinking about going to America. But it came a time when I was working in the immigration office, on Ryson Road in Trinidad. And I started meeting people. And they said to me, you know, you should do things like, you should try and go away, man. Go away. And when I say go away, they were only talking, not go to Grenada or Barbados. I'm talking about going to the United States. I say, if I get a chance, I'm going, but how am I going to get there? My cousin from Tobago have an uncle in the United States. Listen to this story. I wrote the man a letter asking him if it was possible for him to help me to come to America. When I get the answer from the man, I nearly dropped down. When I say drop down, I mean I struck. I'm working in the immigration office, and I actually helped and get through to get a passport down Trinidad and Tobago, first passport. I still have it there. And he worked his way. His name is Isaac. And he's the one that helped me to come to the United States of America. At that age, coming to America was almost impossible. Don't let me keep on going like that, because there are other things you're going to want me to do and come. And if I keep going on that, we don't have time.
So when you landed in the States, when you landed in the States, I believe you met that uncle who helped you come to the States. What did you do? Did you go to school? I read many times that you joined the military, you joined the army.
No.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Stop right there.
Uh-huh.
At 18 years old, it had it in the United States of America. Remember, I went there. I didn't stow away. I went there legally. So at 18 years old, if you're in America in those days, 52, 55, you are in the draft age. You be drafted because you become an American citizen. Now, I was drafted in the United States of America in the draft age, and then I went through all the basic training and everything, and everybody that's wartime going there and everything, war going on and things, and say, I say, Lord, I could cut this story to you. I say, if I ever get out there, I'm going right back to Trinidad and Tobago, me and this army thing, not knowing that is a way that's opening up for me. I, Robert Alfonso Nelson, is a Korean War veteran. God bless America. I love my country, but I have to tell you, God bless America.
Excellent.
I, Korean War veteran in the Korean War. When I came out, that is the next story. When I came out the army, I was doing something else again, which we all going to go through and get to in a moment. Because you're going to ask me, after I came out from the United States Army, what happened? That's another story.
Yeah.
So somebody else, we'll save that for a little later.
But before you get there, I've also read many times that you performed calypso in the army. Tell us about that.
There we go. You see, now that's what I'm talking about. While I was in the service, in the army, there were other West Indian, 3 or 4 of us I could remember, that were from the Caribbean. And we used to be together in that fashion and thing, doing my own West Indian thing there, whether you're Yankee, wherever you come from, or we had going on really kicking, and I was up there. How you think I was kicking? I used to mimic. I use the word mimic many times, and that's the reason. I used to mimic Calypsonia. That was in me because I had the bounce and the weights and the everything there. So when we get time off on the weekends or any kind of thing, we have a little group get together. We, that little group, used to actually whatever company A, B, C, or D over there to come around and to watch us perform. And I was really good. Mimicking Calypsonians again, like Melody, Sparrow, is a Duke of Iron, you know, Kitchener. We used to hear these music, but I never seen like a disco album or anything in those days. Just the music we have and we get it done. And me, I'm there. I'm the big man. I'm wailing. You know, but it was no Lord Nelson and all that then. Mm-hmm. I was just one of the top ones in the West Indian group. But I took to Sparrow. I love the voice of this man, and various, and I used to know Sparrow and everything and became that close. But not knowing Sparrow in those days, you have a 45, you know, the one in the middle. I always go through the story. So when I come out from the army, there was a little steel band down in right there in Harlem with some Caribbean thing there from the Caribbean making them days with and I get into one of that too. And I get good because I was playing Pandenian because from quite home in Plymouth, Little Stewart and I we used to do all the Pandenian and so I was in that, but not as good as playing pan. When I got back and was in Harlem with this little band doing the ping pong thing, I learned to sing and was singing calypso from the mighty Sparrow. Brothers, friends, I get to be so good that instead of beating the band, I became the singer. And singing with the little steel band, making little on the weekend, going out from here to there, Connecticut, and come back, get good. Then I move over to a real big band now with saxophone and everything. And my payo, a hot because Sparrow, the man named Sparrow, is hot. All in the Caribbean is only Sparrow, and I am Sparrow. I get to be so like the man. If the man make a mistake, which he never did, and on a song, I'm making the same mistake. That's how good I was done. One night, I was performing in a dance. I see a group about 8, 9 people coming up with a fella with them, and they said, "Sparrow, Sparrow," and I'm waving, man, because it's me. Sing, Sparrow, singing, and then, but the man in front, and he come up on the stage, and that night it was, "Yes, Sparrow, darling, I hate to write," and I singing the song, and the man come up, and he started to sing, but noticing he's singing like me. So the mic song like me, and the people they say, "Yes, Sparrow," and I'm waving, man, it's me. I said, "This fellow, whoever." Someone said the song like me, but you know, I am Sparrow, and gave me back the mic, and he sing like me, and I sing like. That is when I became this real Sparrow. Him and I get tight. That night, that when the dance done, we make sure know to reach each other. He came up there one that time to have a little surgery and stuff.
Right,
so he was there for about a month.
Yeah. All right.
You want me to stop there? Keep on going.
All right, John.
So yeah, Nello, that's good. So I have a question. No, we come in. We have plenty to talk.
We have plenty, man.
We have plenty to talk. Yeah, right. So, Brother Nello, that's a good pathway you just gave there in your storyline. So tell me, as an entertainer, in a while, we're going to be going through some of your songs and here's how you came up with them and the storyline and so on. Because we want all our listeners to really be exposed to all of your music. We can't tackle all of your music, but we certainly have some that we want to go through. But tell me, this style you develop of this very strong dance and wine and your clothing and your... Tell us a bit about how you develop that style as an entertainer.
Let me tell you something. When I became, I could go back there, a Calypsonian, I wasn't actually like the real Calypsonian, like Attila the Hun and all them back there. They used to wear them sailor clothes, long ago, just differently.
Right.
And I developed that suit type thing. I didn't wear no, it was no jacket. It was like more or less, shorty. And this man, the great, my name, the man, I forget what his name, he used to wear them silver clothes and all that. And I started wearing those one-piece kind of jump suit.
Yes. Signature.
So I developed that now. Instead of wearing the sailor thing with broad thing and them pants for 12 inches wide and all, I couldn't deal with that. So I start singing now in the Young Brigade down Rice Road, and I developed this wearing this jumpsuit. The jumpsuit got to the point where the only person I know used to wear something like that was Lord Shorty. But I couldn't Shorty I get,
Yeah.
But it was close more like the same man I tell you about the Yankee boy that he had that like the same kind of thing. So I actually added to the jumpsuit by putting on a jacket with that hat. Up to this day, I have seen many people, many Calypsonians, many entertainers mimic that same kind of clothes that I wear, and up to now they can't do it. I have that in all colors. Listen to me, when I go on stage, from me underwear to me under this is the same color, shoes. So nobody, if you check them back, don't dress like me. Now that, they mimic me now, mimicking me. But this is me. If I would go on stage, I have people say, what color you going to wear? You wear my jumpsuit. I have seen things that I can't talk to you about on stage, on the air right now. Happened to me. My story is different. My music is different. I am different. I have a gift to meet people like you, big brother, to meet people like you, John Arnold, to meet people like you, that all of you that right there, call your name one, brother B, everybody right there, say friends of Lord Nelson, you are angels sent from God. You are not just bare people. Where you picked me up from where I was, that was just, I can't tell you that story. I have a gift and you are right there to show the gift of God.
Of course.
What happened last night to what I tell you today is different again. It's more stories. They just call me from home and tell me they're playing your records one after the other and thing. Usually when you're dead, they said I was dead 2 weeks ago, but I ain't dead yet. And if I dead, people jump me right now.
You're gonna live forever then, don't worry that. All right.
Yeah, that's how we go from there now. Now we make the thing beautiful and sweet.
Okay,
Today is a
Nello.
and the whole story is nothing but goodness and love, man. Love, man, and me. And I thank you all people for the goodness of God. God don't ever have one eye. I have so much chat, I have to hold back some. Come talk to me.
Very good.
I know. But
Gil, you wanted to say something.
Keep in mind, we are not
Gil.
you know.
You
Gil,
you are a
talk to
gift
me,
to
man.
us.
Gil, I'm waiting to hear from you. Talk to me, man. Gil,
Yes,
talk to
well,
me.
I'm talking to you now. You are a gift to us. We're not a gift to you. You're a gift to us.
Man, we are the gift to each other.
All
That's
right.
right.
Okay. Well, I'll
Yeah, you just
accept
have to
that.
leave it there, Gil. If he
Yes.
said we are a
But
gift, we
listen,
are a gift.
well,
And
I
he's
have
a
two
gift to
questions.
us. Yeah.
I have two questions here. When you performed in Harlem, did you meet Macbeth the Great?
Who?
Macbeth the Great. The Calypsonian,
No,
Macbeth the Great. You didn't meet him.
no. He was
Okay.
no. I didn't know. I heard about him, but right after there was Fats Green. Remember?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
Fats Green
I
took
heard of
over
him.
Macbeth and all that.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
wound up with Fats Green too.
Ah. Okay.
I mean, I was with everybody. Any band that come to
Yeah.
the United States as any kind of Caribbean music, I'm in there from boat right. Man, let me Tito Plenty, I do everything. Oh my God.
Yes.
Tito
I
Plenty.
sing Carnegie Hall.
Yes.
Right.
It's me. Oh, come on, Gil.
All
That's
right.
not a fucking.
Okay. All right. Let's go
Okay.
again. So listen, there's one thing about
All
you.
right.
You have your compositions. Many of your compositions have a sense of humor, which is an integral part of Caribbean culture. And I always admire that song Calamity. Tell us about Calamity. What inspired you to write Calamity? Because listen, Nello, Calamity is it always hit me as a real story. You know, it's like an article from a journalist.
You know what, Gil? Let's play it and then
Yes.
talk about it.
Very good.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
This happened to me going home from New York City. This happened to Nello flying from New York to Piarco. I had a glass of milk at Kennedy and I didn't realize it was spoiled. 15 minutes after we take off, it attacked me like castor oil. I was not uneasy, neither was I scared. From where I was sitting, I could see 2 toilets ahead. So then I get up and I winded my way. Vanello almost cried when the hostess told me, sorry sir, they're both occupied.
Yeah, go ahead, Angelo.
I walk back to my seat very, very cautiously, stepping very neat. I walking just like a young lady. This time it is swimming beads of perspiration and sweat. 15 minutes done gone already, and them people ain't come out yet. I start to get dizzy. Lord is now a sick. I hoping and praying that them 2 people come out quick. I open, a woman came out. I felt so relieved. It's then the hostess told me, sir, would you sit and fasten your seatbelt, please? Oh,
Yeah, tell us.
All right, Gil.
All right, Nello. Tell us about that. What inspired you to write that? Because the whole story is you're in the United States and you're going back home.
Gil.
Yes.
Listen,
I want to know. Tell us why you wrote that song.
listen, let me tell you what came up with the song.
All right. Good.
You know, in those days, they had them windmill playing, right?
Yes.
When I say windmill, it was no jet thing.
Yeah. Right.
And it
Yes.
does, people look at the toilets, and there's be one up there,
Yeah.
this side and that side. And if somebody would go in there with 2 people would be in them latrines, as you would say, and you got to go, partner, you could imagine what could happen. So I say, if I had to go and somebody in there, tell me what you gonna do. Man, you got to let it all come out. If you listen to the lyrics, and you could see it's a story that it could really happen. It happened in a different way. When I was going, listen to me, I was going to Miami, and you know that somebody in the bathroom, they ain't coming out. I said, if you ain't come out in a while, if you ain't come out in a while, and I have a cup, so I'm going to have me, Mr. Come out. You see me make it in a hurry, and if I didn't hold Hamlet would have get away.
But the sweet part in the story is when the plane land down in Piaco, they hit a bump on the runway and everything come out.
Yes, sir. But it's the same thing I said. You can't hold when you have to go for any long time different.
Yes.
It's going to come out.
Right.
And that's why I'm like, give this to. And I know you might have people.
That was a great
All right.
composition, man.
Very good. All right, let's go
Great
now to Garrett
composition.
Bunks.
Package with humor.
Yeah. All right, so Garrett Bunks, Nello. Of course, we're going to get a taste of Garrett Bunks.
No.
Tell us the right terminology.
Listen, mommy, listen. Trouble in the tongue. Hurry, mommy, hurry. The carrot's coming down. All day, mommy, all night. When it's carrots in the place, and it's pressure in the waist, you should get them whooping. Bounce if you're bouncing. Ounce for ounce. This is your carrot bounce. Wait, time. Wait. Ay, ay, ay. Wait. Yes. Bounce it. Whoop it. Bounce like a Indian. Man, jump off your waist. Say come from the island. And that is no disgrace. You have to move, mommy. Get in the groove, mommy. Then you wheel and tumble. Bounce like you able. Don't forget you whoopsin'. Bounce if you're bouncing. Mama ounce to ounce. This is your carrot bounce. Wait.
All right. So tell us about Garrett Bunks. Obviously,
That'd be great.
they had fire and energy at that time, man.
I still have fire and energy now. It's never really happened.
All right.
Let me tell you that. Now, a Garrett, a person with a Garrett on the Caribbean islands is like this. If you don't have status, papers that say you are United States of America, you are called a Garrett. So Grenada, Trinidad, Tobago, wherever you come from, as long as you didn't come from the Virgin Islands or anywhere that's, really United States, you are a Garrett. And I went down there with a band that was from the Virgin Islands. Samuel Ab was the band, and I went down there singing with the band that went down on the cricket side to play cricket, and the band had to go down to the cricket side, and I was the singer of the band. And at the same time was Carnival time in the Virgin Islands. Sparrow was there. Again, here comes the mighty Sparrow. He was in the carnival. He was coming so king from Trinidad. Over there, meet the man again and be tight, man. Oh, glad to see me, my brother. And they didn't, brother, them, they were tight. And I made this song singing for name Garrett Bunks because it was the Garrett's song. They all flocking through the Virgin Islands to get to America. Start something. I have a dance that you do that I invented it a bouncing kind of thing, and they call it,
Bounce.
I call
Yeah,
it the
bounce.
Garrett bounce.
Okay.
That's how the name Garrett bounce became about.
Very good.
I went to the radio station one morning and they taped that song where you hearing that's real, the real musicians. And Sparrow was going back to Trinidad and he took that thing and make a tape. And we make a 45 and he took it back to Trinidad. Papa, it's like measles all over the Caribbean. It's only Garrett bounce. When I went to Trinidad, I was not California and them. I was acting like one, behaving like trying.
Yeah.
And
All right.
Sparrow
So that's
was in the Young Brigade. He's the man there with Melody, EMC. And when I got to Trinidad, I mean, a popular already, man. I mean, I really, the only Garrett boy, look the Garrett boy to me. And when I went there that night, first night, the weekend to sing, I was on that stage the first 2, 3, 4 times, and Lord Melody, bless his heart, only said, go back on there. They're calling you, go back. And I went the 7th. When the 8th time come, my friends, Papa, Anna, full of zest, you know. What an a peppy from the army of but I couldn't take it no more. Melody says, sit down.
all right.
He says, don't go back. That's when I became a Calypsonian. You gonna tell me 8 times I get encore, I never get it, but I get most of it, I get encore until I can come. That's when I became a Calypsonian. And from that night up to now, you cannot tell me I've been to places where people going right now and they say they got there for the first time. I've been there before.
And
you hear me tell you I've been to Iceland? You ever hear Calypsonian been to Iceland?
Wow.
Now we ain't going to talk to
All right.